Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining. You guys are awesome. It is an amazing Saturday, so I'm going to be in and out. If you know anyone who needs to be in here, please tag them ASAP. We have a command. Today is March 4th, and it is the only day on the calendar that gives you a command to do something. So, with that being said, I want to welcome everybody to World Changers with Smiley Brown the Disruptor. I am bringing you thought provoking, mind shifting wisdom. Grab a notepad and a pen. Prepare for a paradigm shift in the next 20 to 30 minutes. Like I was saying, today is March 4th. Every day this month, I've been on here, and he's given me something new for what we're doing. We've been speaking to the winds. We've been speaking to our pathway to make sure we're on the right path, staying on the right path. So I want to say something before we get into our command and what you have. So please, like I said, grab a notepad and take some notes. If you're part of World Changers, you already know how we do. You never enter a clubhouse room, specifically one that God has you gleaning from, without notepad and paper or pen. A lot of people are saying this is the month of transfer. This is the month that the wealth transfer is happening. And it is. It really is. This is the month that the wealth transfer is happening. You know why? Because there's a lot of talk in the natural of people, how do I say this, of the banks maybe shutting down. Like, they even have a date that the bank may shut down. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to perpetrate false information. Nobody knows unless they work for the bank themselves. But that we're supposed to go digital this month, that all of that, we're going to have our blackout this month. When those things happen, they are stating that once the blackout happens, it's going to be black, power grids are going to go down, 2 or 3 days, we're going to come back and it's going to be digital. Coins, crypto, investments. Okay, that's the rumor. Well, what God is showing me also is when that happens, is also the wealth transfer. But we've got to be in position. Do you have your part done? So if you've been following me since 2021, either 2021 or 2022 in Arise, we did go get your bank accounts, go open up bank accounts. How many of you were with me when we did that? How many of you opened up bank accounts? Another one was go get a credit card. Those are a couple of things he had us do. Drop a one in the chat if you've been with me, if you did that. That would have either been last year or the year before. Okay, perfect. So you guys are remember that. So if you look back, I had to look back. You could see how your bank accounts, you have a lot. And at first we were like, how are we going to pay all these fees? You know, we had our thoughts and we had our worries, we had our concerns, but we were, those of us who were obedient, I noticed if one bank account was low, someone would deposit money in the low one, and then I could use that. Every bank account that needed funding always had funding. Anybody else can agree that did this exercise? I had enough money in each bank account. It never failed. When one was going low, the other one would rise up. It was literally like oil. It was literally, anybody else can attest. Or do you have your own testimony? I would love for you to put it in the chat or come up and talk about it, just so that people now and on the replay can hear why you have to do your parts, why you have to be obedient when he says, go open up bank accounts. And you're like, but God, I have one bank and it's negative. Or God, I have one bank and it's barely, in the green, in the red, um, or in the black. Like, what do you want me to do? So if you have a story, raise your hand. If you have your own personal testimony, that was mine. If I went to my PayPal and it was going low, someone would put money in there, and then I would go to the other one. I'd be like, "Oh, I didn't know I had money in this one." Like, literally, sometimes I wouldn't even know I had money because I was in one, and because we had a couple, a good amount. Like, he literally said, "Open up as many bank accounts as you can." Okay. Um. So my question to you is, do you have your part done? And if not, this is your March 4th commandment. Want to do a quick caveat. Today is a 1 year anniversary of World Changers. Last year, my March 4th was to launch my own community. I had just came out of a co-founding community. I wasn't thinking about starting a community, but for March 4th, he told me start my community. So whoop whoop to all of you who are still part of my community, who are within the World Changers, in the inner courts, in the app on a paid membership. Thank you. Thank you for being with me a year. I know that's not normal. I know most people's communities are turnover, 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 and a lot of you have came in last year and are still with me, and I just want to say thank you. Kia said, not sure if I joined last year, but I did open a series of bank accounts and it changed the game. Yes. So there's another testimony. It completely changed the game. You gotta have buckets. The scripture reference for this commandment is the oils. When did it stop? When she stopped having jars. The more you have, the more he can give you. So with that being said, um, let's see. Do I want to go that route? Maybe I'll add that to the end. This year, your instructions, write this down, is create something for God to bless and spoil you through. This year, create something for God to bless and spoil you through. What does that mean? Create a course, create a podcast, create a coaching service. Okay? Open up another stream of income and invite him. That's your instructions for today. It cannot already be in existence. You are specifically to open up something. And if you've been working on it this week, then ask the Holy Spirit, can I just attach this to these instructions? He told me, open up something. Give me something to spoil you. These are the instructions. Do not cheat yourself. Write that down. Do not cheat yourself. He wants to spoil me. It needs to be high-end ticket, a high-end ticket. So that means if you don't have a high-end ticket, I know Jennifer sells clothes. I'm not sure what Victoria does. I can't think of it right off the bat. I know Kia is in why am I drawing a blank? Nonprofit. Miss Arlene is a coach, a mentor. If you don't have a high ticket section, at least I'm sorry, I don't know exactly what you do, so forgive me. And anybody else in here that I can't see, because I literally see 5 and it says 6 are in here, so please forgive me if I didn't say your name. If you don't have a high ticket, so last year I created a high ticket, which was, it stretched me. Okay. It stretched me. And I created it because I was so busy that I didn't want hear me. I'm gonna be so transparent. I have a VIP session, one-on-one session that is a 3-hour session. It usually includes, you have a 15 questionnaire that you have to answer. So as soon as we get on a call, we dive in. There's no tell me what's going on. We don't waste no time. I've already got your questions. I pray over them. I see what the Holy Spirit wants me to do. Once we get on, we usually go to the courts. Then we go through deliverance. Then we go through the ministry of forgiveness. And by then, it's about 2 hours in, and we talk and give you assignments and homework. That's the one-on-one. That last year, God told me to increase that. And those and he told me to increase it. And also I didn't want it, I wanted it to be out of reach for people because I was so busy. I was speaking, I was on Clubhouse, I was being interviewed, I was having interviews in magazines. It was just so much going on that people were like, can I do a one-on-one? Can I do a one? I said, well, let me increase this price. My intentions. Let me increase this price so it'll deter people. You guys, no. More people paid the higher it went. We have it wrong. We have it backwards. If I raise my price, I'm going to lose people. No. Those who truly, truly need you, those who truly, truly need what you're offering will come. I told my husband, I was like, oh my God, the more I raise this, the more they pay. And he was like, that means you were shorting yourself. That means they know your worth. And I was just like, wow, I cannot believe this. Okay. So I literally had to stretch that. So I'm passing the instructions he gave to me. You are to create a product within your community, within your, whatever you already do. You're not trying to do something, you're not recreating the wheel. So my product from last year was a VIP. I just upped the price. That was new, and I changed the structure and I added more to it so that it would reflect the price. You could do that, but the instructions are, do not cheat yourself. If you put a price to this product and you're not scared, it's too low. He wants to spoil you. Can he spoil you with one or two of those a week? $2,000, $3,000, whatever it is. Can you be spoiled with the price that you put on it? And then it needs to be high ticket. Research what high ticket is. Okay? Those are your 3 instructions. Today on March 4th. Last year on March 4th, we led up to start something new, do something different. March forward today. God told me, I want to spoil you. I want to treat you. Give me something to pour into specifically. So, whatever it is you're about to make, you say, God, this is what I want you to use to spoil me. Okay, write that down. This X, Y, and Z is what I want you to use to spoil me. This X, Y, and Z is what I want you to use to give back to me. Okay, let me see what else I have. He said, when you do this, you'll be blessed. Finances are available. It needs a place to land. Your wealth is here. It needs a place to land. He gives money poof out of thin air, but when you have buckets, go back to the oil. If you have a one-on-one session, if you have a two-session one, if you have a community, if you have a mentorship, if you have a teaching leaders, that's 5 different things in your one community. That's 5 different streams of income. How many streams? I have about 11. Okay. You have your low hanging fruit, which is like my world changers, where you get the declarations every day that changes your world changers declarations. It's $4.99 to subscribe to that. That's the low hanging fruit. As far up as in the thousands, you should have those ranges. Those are different streams of, they say 7. When I counted mine, it was 11. Okay. But this particular one that you were creating, he said the funds are here. They're circulating, but they cannot land because there's nowhere for them to land. God is trying to partner with you, okay? He is trying to help you create something that he can bless you with. Partner with him by creating exactly what he needs to bless. I don't know what that is. I'll say it again. God wants to partner with you because he wants to spoil you. We've been through a lot. And his spoiling us is that demonstration I've been talking about. So you need to ask him, or you need to create exactly what he needs to bless. No less and no more. Every step of the way you are asking, which we do anyway, but this one's a little different. Okay? How many of you, just from being in this room right here, right now, know exactly what you're going to create? Drop a 1 in the chat. If you know what you're going to create, if you already have an idea, drop a 1 in the chat. Perfect. Thank you. If while talking, something popped in your head, drop a 1 in the chat. Don't dismiss that. That is not an accident. Even though it sounds crazy, you can do it. Now, perfect. 3 people. Now, the other thing is, even if you think it's impossible, perfect. Even if you feel, well, God, I'm just going to start it today, it don't matter. Remember what I've always said. When you put something on paper and take it out of your head, it gives you room for more creativity, okay? But you got to write it down. So make sure you write this down. Make sure you write the idea down. And he may start blessing you just because you wrote the idea down. You got to think about that, because that means you're in motion and you're moving towards what he needs you to move towards. Okay? Do exactly what he tells you to create. It's time to accept deep and challenging work, and it's going to move quickly. People are going to show up that want to help you because God wants this in the earth now. Whatever he tells you or shows you, whatever you feel you think you know you're supposed to do, that's because it's needed in the earth, and that's why he's going to spoil you, because it's going to help the rest of the people. So today is March 4th. It is the only day on the calendar that commands you to do something. It is the only day in our entire calendar that gives you a commandment. And we never want to miss this. In World Changers, we don't miss it. This is our third year. We did something with the Rise. I cannot remember. We did something last year. I created my community. You guys created something. We got bank accounts. And now this year you are creating exactly what God says create. And you have 3 sets of instructions. Do not cheat yourself. What did we do all week? This is so on point. I hope all of you guys were in here when we did the cleansing of the money. How many of you were in here when we did the cleansing of the money? Drop a 2 if you were in the room. Or you listened to it on replay. When we did the cleansing of the money, and we found out some of us didn't feel worthy, some of us didn't feel like we deserved it. Perfect. Do you see how God works? Do you see how he does things? No idea. Because I was like, what are we doing for March 4th? I thought yesterday was March 4th. I was so ready for March 4th. But when it finally came, I was just like, what are we doing tomorrow? I don't have anything. And then he hit me and said exactly this. So he had to remove this week any issues you had with money. If you did not do that, if you did not watch or attend that room, put up a 1 so I'm going to post it anyway, but just so that I know. Let me see if I can find it. It's on my YouTube. Oh no, I don't think it's on my YouTube. I think it's in the community. I don't remember. Let's see what this one is. This one was part of it. This was part of the series. And I'm going to post it so you can listen to it. Because this week he's done a lot of digging and uprooting. So we could be ready for today. Go figure. Anybody have any questions? Anybody have any comments? I told you I wasn't going to hold y'all long, and it's a beautiful Saturday. I want to definitely tell you guys, those of you in the community, you know what I mean. We need to ground. Um, if you can go outside and put your feet on the ground, don't know if it's too cold in your area, go outside and put your feet on grass and just start praying in tongues. If you don't have the gift of tongues, just start thanking him, but ground yourself, stay hydrated. There's a lot happening in the cosmos. There's a lot happening in the atmosphere right now, and you want to keep yourself grounded, okay? Too cold. I know, you're always up in the north. um, but yes, if those of you who can, definitely ground yourself. Cement is man-made, but if you got to do cement, go out there and say, God, this is the closest I can get to man-made. Make this work in my garage, or wherever you can. But definitely stay hydrated, you guys. It's intense. We're having headaches still. We're having the ringing in our ear. We're having the frequency, the womp 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 in your ear. You can feel the waves. You can hear the waves. You're emotional. Yesterday I had an emotional day for no reason. Just crying, and I'm just like, what is going on? He's doing something and you cannot see it, but you can definitely feel it. Okay? Your periods are going to be different this month. If it isn't already, it's going to be different. Prepare for that. Things are just shifting in our body right now. The cosmic shift in this month, because this is the month, the last month of the ecclesiastical year. March 23rd, the next new moon, the next new month is going to be the new year. And we've got a lot leading up. I still haven't even released the word. I'm waiting for him to give me the go to release for this month. But yes, ringing in the ear and piercing sounds, loud glitches. You're seeing things out the corner of your eye. You're seeing things in the sky. If you're not looking up, look up. That's all I have to say. Look in the sky. The clouds will look different. Things are just changing. Pay attention to your nature. Remember, I've said this. I always say this in the winter, but I'm going to say it now. Follow nature. Nature wakes up in spring. You're now seeing flowers bloom. You're now seeing grass peek out of dead grass, yellow grass here in Texas. The grass is so burnt and dry that you step in the grass and it hurts your feet. It's not soft and plush. You're starting to see patches of green grass. You're starting to see the sun a little more. Nature's waking up. What do you think your body's doing? We come from the ground. We're all in sync. We're all one. So as soon as you start seeing these things start speaking life, well, remember, we're asking for the latter rain and you can start putting the early rain. Don't forget the tools that I've given you. This is when you use all of this. Okay. Right now is when you push forward, speaking over your life, speaking more life. Make it intentional. You wake up and say, today's gonna be a great day. Spring is the birds are coming back. The birds are now singing in your window again. I mean, look at how they're so vibrant. Life is happening. God, everything that's in my life that was dormant and dead has to wake up with the seasonal changes. This is how you use the tools. Then you use the wind card that you have, if you have the card. Then you use the ancient pathway, west winds, westerly winds. I need you to do X, Y, and Z. Easterly winds. I need you to do this. What do you need? You need a judgment. You need devourer. You need the devourer of your finances to be removed. You need calming. You need peace. Use the winds. Be intentional. In the app, everyone said they had a west wind advisory because we went in yesterday or the day before, and I had a whole tornado. I was like, whoa, like to the point where the siren went on. My husband called me frantic. I was so calm. I was like, what is that noise? I was in the garage and then I came and I said, I think that's a tornado. He's like, get in the middle of the house. He's like freaking out. And I'm just like, okay. I was peaceful. I was calm because I knew it wasn't for me, but it was for me. Does that make sense? The tornado was moving. You guys, this storm went from San Antonio all the way to freaking Arkansas. That's how big the storm was. But it was like 10 minutes. It flew by us. And I wasn't scared at all. Me and the kids, I didn't portray chaos or craziness or worry. So the kids, we just got in the closet, sat there, talked for a little bit, and then I said, I think it's done, and we got out because I knew it was for me. I asked for the westerly winds to do its job, and it brought a tornado to move everything out of my way. Hear me. And in the app, at least four other people said, yep, the winds are definitely up, and I have a wind advisory for the next 10 hours, the next 6 hours, and it's the same wind we asked for. Look, don't tell me when we use our words and when we use scripture, it works. So if you don't have your winds cards, if you don't have your ancient pathway cards, email executive.assistant@somaliabrown.com and get your cards. If you're in the app, there's two that are already complimentary in the app, but if you want the topical cards, we did have to correct one because I've had some issues and I know why, because they're doing something. We had two south by accident, so you should be getting we redid it. So you should be getting your new cards. If you already purchased them, you should be getting the new re-edited ones where you have the north. I think we were missing the east winds or the west winds on the card. So, okay, Victoria, floor is yours.
Okay, good morning. It's not noon yet. Um, it seems like I always have. Lately, I've been having a lot to say, but I'm going to make sure that I try to get everything out. Because just listening to you and then what happened in the last 24 hours, it's like, okay, I'm on track. But I was thinking that I wasn't. So last, I guess the beginning of February, I sent an email to the owner. I was like, I think I need to stop with the group because I felt like I was doing a lot. I was like, God, I'm going to church. I'm in this group and nothing is changing in my situation. And I was just kind of in a mood. And I remember I sat in my car, I typed the email up, and then you came on and did a room and you're like,
Mhm.
if you're feeling this way, you're on
Wait,
target.
Victoria, you went
Mhm.
out. You went out. Last thing I clearly heard was, I'm in church, I'm in the group, and you went out for like maybe 30 seconds.
Oh, okay. So I was saying, I was kind of having like a little pity party. I was telling God, like, I don't know. I feel like I was doing a lot. I was feeling a little overwhelmed. And I said, maybe I'm doing too much. Maybe I just need to pull back and just kind of do one thing and get quiet. But and I sent in my car and I sent the email to Deona and I was like, I think I want to cancel for a while with World Changers. And then like while I was typing the email, you came on and did a room and you spoke to it and you're like, if everybody, are you feeling tired? Are you feeling this? And you just started speaking to my situation. And I remember I started trying to cancel I didn't send it. Well, I guess I hit send, but I was trying to go back and cancel and then my tablet stopped working. Like it just completely shut off. So I thought the email didn't go through. But fast forward today, yesterday I was still feeling like, okay, God, I'm doing a lot, but I need to do more. And so from where I was last month to where I am today, I'm doing a lot. But yesterday I was like, okay, well, I need to do more for God. I need to be showing people on my social media. I need to be talking more to my coworkers, letting them know. I mean, they know who I am, but I'm kind of I don't really just go in and just give them information or and try to talk to anyone. Just maybe a confidence issue. I don't know, but I just have not done that. And so yesterday I was like, oh, you need to go harder. And so I went in to the app and it was like, oh, I'm not in there anymore. And then I'm like, what's going on? And then I was reminded of the email that I sent and I was like, oh, I thought that email didn't even go through. But I wanted to reach out. I was like, this is the time at this point I need to reach out directly to Somalia and do the one on one because I need to get all of this that's in me out and make sure that I'm moving forward to do the things that God is telling me to do. And so now you're here again speaking directly to the things that I was thinking. And it's like, okay, I know that there's something that's trying to stop me. There's like this block because every time I get these ideas or something comes up, then it's like something that tries to deter me. That email was 30 days ago. Like, why did it just come up now? Or why is it, the glitch in the phone and the things that are happening last night? Like, I started having all these crazy dreams, but I woke up, I was like, no, you're not finna come in my dreams. You're not finna, my daughter's sick, but we rebuke that. It's not in my house. Everybody's fine. You're just speaking against what's trying to stop me. I am not overwhelmed. I'm in a sound mind. I'm fine. And when I go home, I'm going to get grounded. So, it's just staying on track and not letting the obstacles that are trying to distract me because I know the things that I need to do and I know that I need to go further in. And this is confirmation again. So thank you, Somalia, and everyone in the room. Because I know I'm not the only one. It's just like I feel like every week is like I have something to say, but it's making sense. So thank you so much.
No, absolutely. I appreciate you for being honest because there's a lot of people that feel that way. And that's why I say, I know when you're in the inner court, when you're in the community, even in just Clubhouse, we do a lot. But imagine doing a lot on Clubhouse, but then sometimes we do, because we doing something totally different within the community right now. Um, that I just did the replay. It's up on the app, and if you've seen it, we're doing something on top of this. We do a lot, and I get that we do. Some people can hang, some people don't, which is why I always tell people get in where you fit in. Don't get overwhelmed. Ask the Holy Spirit, what do you want me to do? Is all of this for me? And if the Holy Spirit says yes, then you got to figure out a way to do it. Because I do everything, I do a lot because I like to keep, um, it keeps my mind, my philosophy for what God has shown me is why I do so much, is it keeps my mind stayed on Him. So if the enemy can infiltrate when your mind is constantly on God, then if he can get in and really derail you, then he's good. You see what I'm saying? I give props where props are due because it's hard for the enemy to get in when you're focused. It's hard for the enemy to come in and derail you when you have your mind made up. For example, what do I always say? There is an area in our lives that the enemy can't touch. There is. And we all have one, two, maybe three. It is what it is. We're just going to be transparent. Like one of my friends, when she starts feeling a tingle, she don't get sick because she's like, "Girl, I ain't never thought I could get sick." I always said, "Nope, not me. My throat tingle. You better go somewhere." He can't mess with her with sickness. But my next friend, sick all the time, and that's not her area of expertise because she's been sick from young. So to her, sick is normal. But my other girlfriend, she's like, as soon as I feel my ear, nope, the devil, you gotta go. Throat, I lay over hands on my throat, I lay hands on, I do my whole respiratory system before it even gets full blown. She never gets sick. You have an area, we have areas where we're so focused and we know God got us because He showed up. That's why we do what we do because those areas get perfected, right? We visualize, we take our deep breaths to reconnect, we ground ourselves in Him, we speak things so that we can see, wow, okay, it says I have power of life and death in my tongue, but when we speak to the winds, and then next thing you know, you have a wind advisory. How much confidence did you just get? And wow, the wind really obeyed me. That's why we do what we do, but it is a lot. I know that, which is why I tell you guys, especially when you're in the community, it's a culture shock. It is a willingness and it is an openness. So no, I thank all of you guys when you're transparent, like I need a break. I don't know, because it is a lot, but that's how world changers move. If you have not seen, me, a movie, Steve Jobs movie or documentary on Netflix, watch it. That man was always going, and I saw myself in him. And the people were like, it's not always about the product. He's like, it is about the product, but it's not about selling the product. It's about selling the lifestyle of the MacBook. See, people were on the wrong page with him. He was a go getter. That man did not sleep. If you watch his show, you will see yourself in World Changers in that movie. I was like, oh my God, he reminds me of me. He went and went and went. You ready to work? People were like, no, I need rest. He was always ready to go because world changers are always ready to change something. So when we practice that, because there's a lot of people that leave the community because they got their reason, they got their season, or God said it's just time to go. And literally, when they fall away, I'll get a response back like, I feel like I'm just twiddling my thumbs. I'm bored because they fall back in, or people that are in the community and aren't attached to the community. They're like, I'm not doing what I used to do. And I'm so used to that lifestyle because they were with us 6 months, 2 months, 3 months. It only takes 63 days to change a habit. If you've been 6 months straight and then all of a sudden you kind of like fall off, you're going to see like, wow, I feel lazy. I've heard that. Wow, I feel lazy. Like the community shows me what I don't do. So, yes, it's definitely intense. And I thank you for sharing that. I do. But that is the point because you never stumble on being a world champion. You can't stumble and be an Olympic medalist. It's an intentional work ethic. It's intentional to do certain things every day. Sacrifice. That's just how I was raised. I sacrificed my childhood. I sacrificed friends. I sacrificed playing. I sacrificed playing video games. I sacrificed a regular childhood life like a Beyonce would, like Michael Jackson did. I did for my sport. And I guess in my being it's the same. Now I'm sacrificing my life for God. And that's exactly what he wants. That's exactly what he wants. I'm like, God, you want me to do that too? Yep, yep, yep. You want me to add that to my plate? And then it's funny, when you do it, he gives you the grace to do it. You're like, wow, okay, it wasn't that bad. Yeah, he gives you the grace to do it because the world has taught us we can't, but we can. If you put your mind to it, you can. And that he organizes us. Then he puts people in our life to make it easier. It's just we just got to trust him. We just have to trust him. Yeah, he gives because you don't know how you're doing it. Because I sure don't know how I do half the stuff, especially a wife, a mother, a community leader, a sister. And usually, those that I attract, everyone in here is probably the glue to their family. It's probably the person that everybody runs to that's not family, that's friends. I mean, it don't stop right there. It don't stop with just home. We got people outside of our community that be leaning on us. We got friends that lean on us. We got family members. Hey, I had this dream. Hey, I know you pray and you have your community. Can they pray for me? It don't stop. It doesn't stop. But that's who we were chosen. Every person in here is chosen. I deal with elites, elects, and chosen of God who have delegated authority. Lisa, you have delegated authority. Bria, Jennifer, LaShawn, Kia, Arlene, Victoria, we have delegated authority. Look it up. Do research and start walking in that. And when you do this new thing, another thing you're probably like, another one you want me to create? Yes. You delegate with your voice authority that this thing that I'm doing right here, this new project or this project I've been working on, I'm setting it apart and I'm dedicating it so that God can spoil me. And I promise you, funds are going to flow and you're going to be like, where is this coming from? The treatment is going to change your business and you. I'm going to use the word that I just got. I just opened up TikTok and this guy said, no hashtags, no nothing. This is for you. God's about to make you a spectacle. And I'm going to pass that on to you guys. You obey this word today on March 4th, this commandment, and I promise you, you'll become a spectacle. God is trying to raise each and every one of us up, but he needs a specific thing to pour into. And that's what you're about to create. If it's already in the works, maybe like the last week, but nothing further than that. If this week you just randomly thought of something new, that was him preparing you. If you've been pushing it, if you've been thinking about it, yes. Okay. Anybody else have anything they want to add? I don't want to hold you guys too long. It's a beautiful day. I'm about to try to go outside myself. I think it's 65 here and sunny. So if you have sun, oh, it's 73 and sunny. Wow. If you have sun in your area, if it's too cold, go outside and just let the sun beat your face for 5 minutes. Get some vitamin D. Um, get some vitamin D in your bloodstream. It's winter, we hide from the sun. It's so cold. We bundled up. We put rubber on our feet and we never touch earth. You know how many months that is that we're away from earth? That's why we're disconnected from when it's waking up. We've got to stay connected. Okay, good. The sun's shining. Perfect. Yep, just go outside, put a hat on, just close your eyes and put your face towards the sun. I'm telling you, when my family had COVID, I literally took them outside and we sat and they looked at the sun. I think it's 30 minutes before sunrise and 30 minutes as it's setting. Don't quote me on that because it'll mess up your eyes if you look at it the wrong way. But it's either 30 before or 30 after, which one, sunset, sunrise. But we did that when they had gotten COVID and we sat in the sun. And when I tell you, for those 20 minutes, they were back to themselves. And to the point where my kids every day was like, Mama, can we go sit in the sun? It makes me feel so much better. And this was with C19. And everybody who's ever had it knows how that makes you feel. The sun, we need the sun. In the wintertime, the sun is always, it's gloomy, it's hidden, it peeks out every so often. That's at least 4 months. What, December? Well, depending on where you live. Down here, it's December, January, February ish. So ours is 3 months. But up north, I mean, y'all get snow easily in November, easily in October, especially in Chicago. So I don't know if the sun is still out though, but you see where I'm going? The sun is hidden from us for a good amount of time in the winter. So we've got to find the sun and go out there, even if it's just 5 minutes, because I know it's cold. Just close your eyes, put your face up into the sun, and just let it beat on you. You'll feel a difference. You'll get a jolt of energy. See, yeah, that's too long. October to April. Oh no. Woo! Gotta have a special grace to live up there. But okay, so no questions. Everybody have their assignment, right? I will post this assignment in the community. No, ma'am. That's too long. I'm a Caribbean baby. I gotta find me the beach every summer. My kids are the same. I need some water. I need some warmth. um, yes, I will post the instructions in the app. But get it today. Today. I know this is last minute. I just got it yesterday, so I'm not even ahead of you. Today. Good. Yes. Come down south. Yes. Get this on paper. Now, I'm not saying you got to go have the LLC and all that. No, no, no. Get it out of your head and on paper. Pray over it. Lay your hands on it like you do your checkbooks. Put your hand on it and say, God, this is the creative idea that you want to spoil me with. And put your hands on it. Get it out of your head, even if it's on your phone. Pray over it and then move accordingly. Okay. If you're in the app, just post done under the post that I'm gonna post. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all go. The link above, as you know, is the World Changer News link. Click on it if you need anything. One-on-one sessions are in there. The community, if you want to try out the community, we're still doing the 7-day free trial where you can join the community. Click around. We'll tag you in some of the most, transformative information so you can kind of get an idea if this is for you, if this is something you want to join. The topical cards, they're $12.50 for two topical cards, which give you more information on each complimentary card that we give to get you to go deeper, to speak more. So yes, so always click this link to check and see what we got going on. Wait list, the blueprint, the marriage blueprint. We're having I think you guys may have, if you're on the wait list, you may have gotten the email about the marriage blueprint, which we are starting at the end of March, no, April. So if you want to go to the informational, you have to be on the blueprint wait list. You can email Deanna at executive.assistant@smallybrown.com and let her know you want to be on the wait list so that you can get the information for the informational, which I will break down. It's 7 weeks, what you get, what it's going to be like, what you tangibly get. This is not just for singles. This is not just for married. It's for both. Okay. You have to have a blueprint for your life. We have a blueprint for God. Well, we do in World Changers. You have to have a blueprint for your business. You got to have a business plan that's a blueprint. When you go to college, you have a blueprint of freshman, sophomore classes, you prerequisites. You got to have a blueprint. You got to have a plan for when you guys argue. Like when we had this tornado, I was like, oh, we need a strategy because this you calling me freaking me out. That ain't gonna work. No, 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 no. We need to put a plan in place so that when it happens, I'm in the place. Like, yeah, you gotta have plan. Like that was chaotic to me, and I didn't like the way I was feeling. Where are you gonna go? You can't get in the car and come over here. I'm like, no, I'm not driving in this wind and rain. He's like, okay, well, let's think. That was too much for me, and I was like, going forward, we need a plan, emergency plan. So you'll start to see once you start putting plans in certain places that your marriage itself, you need a safe zone, you need a safe word, you need how many days it's going to take for you to calm down or hours. You need these things in place, and you need to, as a single, start working on it now. And as a married woman, you need to re-implement it because you've already been married and you've already introduced him to certain things that you now want to change, which means he's going to have to remarry you and you're going to have to remarry him when you change things. And that happens naturally. You have to remarry that person every couple of years, or every time a shift happens in your marriage, you have to remarry them. You cannot treat your husband the same, and he can't treat you the same, especially when you get elevated in God, you get elevated as a woman, you get elevated as a person. He sees that difference. Something shifted in you. You got to teach him who you have now become, and he has to accept that because you're married. Not accept it, do or die, but accept it within reason, and then you guys amicably come to a new way. I'll start going more into that. So, to help you guys understand, but the marriage blueprint is just what it says. It's a blueprint that helps you navigate marriage and have things in place, so when crisis hits, when situations hit, you already have things in place. And just think about emergencies. If you have an emergency bag already packed, do you got to get ready, or you just grab that bag and get in the car? Food, food in the back in the pantry. You already have food. You're already prepared. That's what World Changers. We are always proactive, never on our heels, always ready for anything. Even if you never opened that blueprint, you sat through the 7 week intensive, and when it's time, it's already in your spirit. Sometimes it just needs to be in there as a seed, and then it'll flourish and germinate, and other people will come and water it. But you need it, especially my singles. You need to prepare to be a wife. You are found as a wife. You don't become a wife, you are found as a wife. That is a mindset, that is a spirit, that is an aura, that is what you put off. Okay, that's what you are seen as, a wife. I don't care what you do for a living, none of that matters. If you personify with a wife, you will be found as a wife, and all of that is in there. So, all right, you guys. So, any questions, any comments? You already know how to reach us. You guys have an amazing day, and I look forward to see how God's about to spoil us. I'm ready. As much work as we've been doing, I'm ready. Like Victoria said, overwhelmed with work and busy. I'm ready to be spoiled by the King, by the owner of the universe. Oh, I can't even fathom what kind of spoiling he about to do. So y'all get ready. Thank you for joining me live. I appreciate you guys for being in here. Um, any questions, reach me at executive.assistant@smallerbound.com. You guys have an amazing rest of your Saturday. This room is closing in 3, 2, and 1. Thank you guys. Bye.